Wagwan traders, Yardi traders here again. So, as you can see on the Mullen chart, not much has been happening um, for even yesterday. Let me zoom in a bit here now. So, for yesterday, there was a pullback, a little pullback. So I would say its stock is basically flat. Then there's a little small push up over aftermarket. So I would say not much is happening. If you can see, if in terms of these blue lines, where you have volume, not much volume was happening. So what we want to see is actually volume coming in, the interest being peaked, and then the volume would push up the the stock. And we're still looking for this push past the resistance here. Even if you look at the RSI on this 1 hour chart down here, you can see we're in a basically an average territory. So here is where you have the overbought, and down here I have the oversold. So it's kind of in between here. So not much happening. So maybe I'll keep this video pretty short. So let's look and see what's going on with Yahoo Finance. So as you can see, on Yahoo Finance, the stock came down overnight, went back up slightly. So I would say it's basically flat. The market cap was at 325 million, lost about 5 million there. So still basically flat. Average volume is 165 million, while the volume that came in is 86. So nothing much happening there. Yeah, I don't usually look at news, but there was a news that former General Motors federal government sales leader Ronald Dixon to lead Muln's EV charge for U.S. government fleet sales. Yeah, so nothing really happening there. No exciting news, but at least seems like Mullen is trying to grow the company. Comparisons to other stocks, yeah, everything was really in the red yesterday, and Mullen basically flat. So I think that's good overall. Let's take a look at the options. So call volume actually went down by $1,000. Remember, it was around 5,000 plus yesterday, and puts basically non-existent now. So, as I mentioned, we can't really say what happens with these call volumes, but it's either some of the open interest was triggered and persons are now in, or persons have closed their open interest. So we can't really tell from this, but at least we are seeing that the call volume is much higher than the put volume, which is basically non-existent. Let's take a look at the open interest. Open interest for this week, still at 13,000 volume there. For next week, still at 11,000. And would be after the earnings report, and that's down to 7,000. So let's keep an eye out and see what's going to be happening for this week. What we're looking for is for the volume to come up, and for the stock to push up to the resistance. We're really looking for a break through the resistance there. I was hoping that the stock would have done something once it break this diagonal resistance and then start pushing up. So at least we could look at what would be the upward trend. So I drew this trend line anticipating that, so I'm going to remove it for now. Let's clean up this chart a bit. Alright, so as usual, keeping it short. So that's gonna be basically it for now, guys. We'll just keep an eye out and see what's going on with the stock for this week. And as usual, if you like this type of content, you want to get the early notification, make sure you subscribe so at least you have an idea what's going to be happening with the stock. I do these videos like first thing in the morning, long before the stock market opens. And always remember, give me the thumbs up, so at least I know if you're still interested in this type of content and if you like this content. Okay, guys, so take care, and on to the next time.